All right, let's still move on with the conversation. Nigeria's inflation continues to gallop, affecting the unemployed, the employed, and even business owners. As the nation's recent inflation figure rises to 24.08% and the government's new fiscal policy reforms are beginning to take effect, the implication on micro, small, and medium businesses is better imagined. News Central's Perpetua Fasomi Peters spoke to some business owners and filed this report.
Continue to grow as the cost of small business owners in Nigeria continue to grow as the cost of goods and services worsen living conditions, directly impacting their bottom line.
The inflation rate has been on the increase for about 50 months now, and it is unabated. And this has resulted to woes for business owners. Like I mentioned, it has made us very vulnerable, and for that reason, quite a number of businesses are dead. Quite a number of businesses are dead. Those who are not dead are ailing. They are not doing well. There must be certain roundtable discussion to see how they can checkmate this inflation and its other challenges that is killing small businesses at this time. And if nothing is done, we are going to have a lot of crisis in the economy.
And given the fact that in the last couple of months we've had subsidy removal, right? Price of things have skyrocketed. Operational cost is off the roof. You understand? Operational cost is off the roof to even run and maintain a business now. The budget you have in January is not going to last till September with the current economy in this country.
Sadly, this cost is usually passed to consumers. For many businesses, fixing certain infrastructural deficits would go a long way in addressing the high cost of doing their various businesses.
We need better infrastructure for businesses. We need power. You need good road transportation, commuting from one point to another point. You need access to funding, which is what the government is currently providing us with right now.
We also have policies that ensure that in other countries, that ensure that micro and small businesses are made available to get access to affordable grants and soft loans. Over here today in the country, micro and small businesses go majorly to the microfinance houses because they do not have the structure to visit the commercial banks. But the microfinance houses give them loan at as high as 60-70% interest rate per annum.
Beyond urging the government to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive, business owners are also urged to be more creative and focus on ventures that could earn them more with little investments.
It's time for us to begin to cut costs as much as we can so as to conserve and save the little working capital we have in our purse. If we are producing goods worth 1 million naira before and the consumers do not have time to buy the resources to buy it, I think it's another time to begin to look at how we can produce less, and that also means that we have to reduce our staff strength.
While the ongoing surge in inflation is a global phenomenon, Nigeria's current realities are largely driven by the impact of forex unification, fuel subsidy removal, public debt, and more. This has continued to erode the value of the Nigerian currency, the naira, thereby affecting the living conditions of the citizenry. With the palliatives being announced and currently being distributed by the government, there might be some level of respite for many across the nation. Perpetua Fasomi Peter reporting for News Central.
Peters for that report is the reality of the average Nigerian and what inflation means to them. The reports say that Nigeria is currently about 24% inflation, with projections
to get to,
to about 28%,
by the end of the year,
which is frightening to say the least. I did go to the market yesterday to do some cooking.
And I saw turkey.
Yes, a kilo of turkey is about 4,500 naira. In the market close to where I live.
So
but
it's 4,007.
Yeah, and I saw someone even say 4,800.
So I have switched from turkey. What is turkey? Turkey, I don't like turkey.
No, I still will.
No, I don't like turkey.
But the thing is, from the way it looks, it will get to 5,000 naira for a kilo of turkey. And this is just an example. It would get to 5,000, maybe even 5,500 naira for a kilo of turkey. And then it will now be strictly for the rich. You know, if your income is not going higher, then you would at some point have to cut out some of these things from your diet and live healthy, which is fine. But aside turkey, rice also has become more expensive. What they call them, derica, of rice now is 900 naira. For what? Yes, it is 900 naira, and that used to be, I think it used to be 500 at some point. There was one 500, there was 600. There's a time when it used to be 400 or 300. Now it's 900 naira. So I'm just painting a picture of what the reality is for the average Nigerian.
I know what my concern is. As much as we are complaining about this, there's a subtle hope in everyone's hearts that this is temporary and after a while the numbers will come down. But what we've seen in Nigeria is what goes up doesn't come down.
But I don't think there's any hope anymore. I think Nigerians have just accepted that this is where we are, and so it's really just a survival thing. How do you survive? You keep, I mean, everybody has to stay alive. So while we're talking about, food prices, we also going to be talking about increment in price of transportation. Where it used to be maybe 100 naira, journey with a bus before, currently will now be 200 or maybe 250, maybe even 300 naira. And so imagine that, retiree who has his security job that he does. He's been retired for maybe the last 10, 12 years. His kids are somewhere, around the country. What he survives on now is that 25 or 30,000 naira that he earns every month from being a security guard in some pharmacy, for example, just a wild example. And he lives a couple of miles away. So then he has to take that bus every day to and fro work. His transportation cost to and fro work every day it used to be 200 naira.
Now it's about
it's like one straight bus here, to and fro. Now it has got to be about 600 naira. He still needs to eat. He still needs to send money home and take care of his wife.
And
he still needs to treat himself.
Exactly, hospital bills.
So, how do you expect, that, of course, there's not more and more and more Nigerians falling into the poor or below the poverty line? Definitely will happen. And what is the government's response when people are complaining about how hard it is to simply stay alive in Nigeria? They send you rice. And it's not
palliative.
Yeah, exactly, as palliative. And then they'd send 5 billion naira to each state, which, of course, a lot of Nigerians would argue that would not get to the people who really need it. And, of course, it's also not a thing they're going to do every month. So if you finish sending 5 billion naira this month, are you going to send again next month? No, you're not. So all these moves, basically, the summary of it is all these moves will not help the average Nigerian to survive the very dire situation that they currently are dealing with.
As we count down to the
hectic.
festivities, Christmas is around the corner. It's quite scary to think about what the cost of living will be by then, but everyone needs to brace up, cut costs where you can. Whatever is an unnecessary spend right now is the time to cut it out. Look through your budget again and see what adjustments that you can make.